Hello everyone, Saida here. So I wanted to make this video centered around an update. An update on how I've been dealing with this roller coaster of an ascension process. I've said in a previous video before, or maybe several videos before, that the ascension process can be very much like a roller coaster. Lots of ups and downs and twists and turns, and it's never just straight and direct. There's so many things that occur and so many things that happen and so many times that we feel tested and we're being I like to compare it to a circus, quite honestly. I like to compare it to a circus where sometimes I feel like Spirit is making me jump through a bunch of hoops and just sending me through all this stuff, but anyway, you get the point. So Ascension can be very much like a roller coaster. One of the things that I was struggling with was bringing through certain aspects of my higher self into the physical realm and being in a space of balance as that was occurring. It's very hard to explain. I feel like it's something that you have to experience in order to understand, get the sense of what I'm saying. But basically, anytime I'd go through some kind of upgrade where I'd feel as though my energy was expanding and getting larger, getting more like I was merging with the all, merging with the divine, merging with the universe. I would feel that way, but then something would happen on the physical plane that would plummet me right back down to earth. So it was a crazy sense of being up here, fireworks, up here, being up here, and then having to boom, like just being taken right back down to earth. And it was almost like this, you know, that shock factor that you feel if you did fall and you're still kind of vibrating a little bit. That's kind of like what it felt like. And that was really difficult. I mean, it was really hard, and it made you feel as if like, oh my God, I'm losing my damn mind with all this stuff that's going on. So I typically, as you guys may or may not know, I like to follow my intuition and my sense of knowing, my sense of feeling as to what it is that I need to do in any aspect of my life. So I do affirmations in the morning. I feel like affirmations are really good, I find, for helping to reprogram the mind, okay? And I may talk about that in another video too, affirmations and how to do them, and very simple. But I do affirmations in the morning, which I found were very helpful for helping me to be in the right place throughout the day, as I went throughout my day. But I still found myself struggling with shifting moods. It was very strange, like feeling like I started the day on the right track, but then being taken off track by something. I feel like that's very common anyway. But something came to me recently that really helped me to shift my experience a great deal. And what I found was some of the affirmations that I was doing, they all have been very helpful. But I feel like I was missing one key component, and that was shifting my thoughts. Okay? So now when we think of thoughts, we think, okay, it's just what we're thinking. A thought that pops into our mind, you know, we're thinking about, I don't know, let's say we're thinking about going on vacation, or we're thinking about getting a drink of water or something like that. We typically tend to see thoughts as something that we create and a place that we stay in, like we stay in a particular thought. But for me, it wasn't so much those thoughts that were causing an issue. It was the thoughts that weren't so loud in my head that were causing an issue. And, you know, it was weird because I feel like these thoughts were so sneaky in the way that they would emerge. So they might have been just little small thoughts related to something bad that might happen. So like a fear or a worry or a concern, but it would show up as a thought. A fear, a worry, a concern, I don't know, reflecting on the past or something. I'm just giving an example. But basically these weren't things that, you know, you would generally think about like in the same way that you go about your day and you think about something. It was stuff that was in the back of my mind that was running like a program that I didn't even realize was taking place. So what I started doing was setting the intention as I start my day to align my thoughts with the highest possible outcome. And I would affirm that in the morning, and I found that it really shifted things for me. So I would, like, let's say, set the intention or say an affirmation that says, I align my thoughts with the highest possible outcome. My thoughts resonate with love, with abundance, with joy, with happiness. And, say something like that. And I found that that improved my experience a great deal. Now, one experience that I had this afternoon when I was at work is I let myself go off the path a little bit, and I let myself go back to where I was previously, into this place of, let's say, I don't know, something bad might happen, or just all these different scenarios that may or may not occur, but they still pop up in the head, or it's something that you might reflect on, or maybe not in a big, obvious way, but it's something that's still running in the back of your mind. I let myself go there, and I noticed my energy shift immediately. Like, I felt my energy drop, I felt my mood start to change, and I was like, holy crap, like, my thoughts were really messing with me, and they were messing with my process. And I feel that now that I'm setting the intention to really be aware of my thoughts and how my thoughts are operating throughout the day, I feel like personally that's going to shift my experience a great deal. And I have to see what happens, and I'll give you guys an update. But I personally feel that through shifting my thoughts, it'll really help with this roller coaster experience. Instead of being at a high level or a place of experience and then plummeting down to earth, it might be a little bit easier for me to stay there for an extended period of time, forever. Hopefully, we'll see. We're human and we all go through all types of crazy stuff. But it was crazy because I thought that, I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay, no. Actually, I kind of did, but then it went back. So, I feel like I thought that I was touching upon that component. And I wasn't. So I feel like it's really important to make sure that your spiritual hygiene touches upon all different aspects of who you are. So you touch upon the emotional part, the emotional aspect. You touch upon the spiritual component. You touch upon the physical component. And you touch upon the mental component of who you are. Okay, so it's important to look at all of these aspects. In fact, that's something that you can do yourself right now. Take a look at all these different facets of who you are, all these different components, and look at the health of each one. See how you're nurturing each one. How are you nurturing your emotional aspect? How are you nurturing your physical aspect? How are you nurturing your mental component? How are you nurturing the spiritual? All of these different things. And see if they're all relatively in balance. And I feel like that'll be a good exercise on this path. And I feel like it's a good part of the good practice for this path, because it brings you into a higher state of awareness of what's happening with you overall, holistically. Okay? One thing that I've been doing too, I'll mention it here, maybe I'll do another video on it, but I have also been guided intuitively to reduce sugar. Okay, so that's one aspect of the physical component that has changed for me, and something that I really needed to start paying attention to. Because too much sugar overall for anybody, regardless if they're on the ascension path or not, is not good. And I've noticed that for myself, I'm very sensitive to sugar. So partially it's digestive, but then another portion is just overall physically I'm sensitive to it. So if I eat too much of it, I start to feel numb. So I can't have that. And of course, with the emotional component, making sure that you're acknowledging your emotions, that you're letting yourself express your emotions, that you're being honest with yourself about how you feel. you know, that you're taking time to nurture that aspect of you and allowing yourself to cry or to live in a space of joy, and making sure that you're not just working. That's something else I've been doing. I'm making it a commitment that I'm not just going to be doing work. I have to spend time with friends. I have to spend time with loved ones. I have to do things that are just fun. So that's another aspect of the emotional component, making sure that there's joy in your life. You know, physical, and then the mental I shared, spiritual. Making sure that I'm taking time for prayer to connect with the divine on a daily basis. If I feel called to meditate, just sitting in meditation. If I feel called to just kind of reflect and stare at the wall for 30 minutes. Allowing whatever energies that need to be integrated to integrate. You know, that's something else that you can consider for yourself. So I feel that this new insight or revelation that I've received is going to help my path a ton. And hopefully it'll give you some perspective on maybe things that you can look at for yourself and things that'll help you on your path. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm actually filming this on July 5th, so happy 4th to all those who celebrate, and I'll see you around next time. Take care and have a good night.